Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it is Saturday, which means it's time for my weekly roundup. Yay, there you go, Sherry. I remembered. Hey, baby, what's up? One of your candies. Yes, you may have a candy. So, what is my weekly roundup? Well, it is every Saturday I go through my weekend crafting. We talk about my whips, works in progress, and FO's finished objects. We talk about the book I am, of course, now remembering I did not grab my book. We also have one more advent to do. This is a 12-day advent based on the Fourth Wing books from Dragon Horde Yarn. It is called The Gauntlet. So let's see what day 4 has in store. 1, 2, 3. My camera is yelling at me already. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We'll talk about this and then I'll go get a new battery. Ooh, this is lovely. This is called Rhiannon, which is, of course, Violet's best friend. And this is green, black, and navy, and there's some teal tones. I paused at black. I was trying to figure out if it was brown or black, but I think it's black. And it has some brownish tones where it kind of meets the green, if that makes sense. So here we go. Oh, focus on the yarn. Focus. Focus, please. Maybe? You're not focusing. What's off? Oh, something got changed in my settings. Okay, we're going to get a new battery. I'm going to try to fix my settings. Okay, I think we're back. Settings looks changed. Let's see if it'll work this time. So, this is Rhiannon. Focus. There we go. Oh, it's so dark. There we go. I think, okay, there we go. Nice. So pretty. That's really pretty. It's very pretty. It's very dark, but very pretty. Let's put it in 4. I see how those are working together, and I like it. Okay, so let's talk. I moved things around to leave the room, and now I've lost everything. Okay, we're going to just pick up things and talk about it. So there's going to be a mix of FOs and works in progress. I do have two. So I have one object I know I finished. I had another object that I found as I was cleaning here, and I finished it a long time ago. I am questioning whether or not I shared it with you because it was still in its project bag. And normally if I finish it, I show you and then I take it out of the project bag and I cycle the project bag back into all of my things. So it was set aside like it was still a work in progress, but it was done. So, my shirt's trying to strangle me. We're going to talk about that. First, let's talk about my daughter's, I didn't even start this, my daughter's granny square blanket. I did finish all of the granny squares and I've started piecing together the final tier. So I've only got 2 pieced together and I've got the slip knot on the white yarn for the next one. That's as far as I am. So, progress made on that. Okay, here are my finished objects. Let's talk about this one first though. I finished putting the last of that sparkle Christmas sock yarn on my commemorative sock tiny granny square blanket. I'm using a 2mm hook and all of my leftover sock yarns that I am not saving for another project. So this is a long-term, who knows when it's going to be done project, and I'm using ridiculously small crochet hook to do it. Okay, here are my finished objects. This is the one I know I finished a long time ago, but I don't know if I ever shared with you. So, this is my Ocean Tunisian cowl, and I was doing this for a Things We're Making Thursday project way back when, and here it is all done. So I did it. Here we go. I was using Rowan Valley Tweed. I really like the effect. I love how it turned out. I think I messed up the decreases a little. I got something funky where it joined, but that's okay. I'm just going with it. You can hide that in the back, right? It'll get scrunched up. You won't even know if you're wearing it. So, if I didn't share that before, I did finish this project. And I can now cycle this away. Yay! And reclaim those Tunisian hooks if I want to do something with them. My other finished object is I did finish my son's hat. So I've been working on the antler toque from Tin Can Knits. This comes in a variety of sizes from infant all the way up to large adult. So, and this is free. So you can get the print version free on Ravelry, or it is free available on their app. And here's the hat with his palm. So here it is with there's his palm he picked out. And there's the hat. And then we tried it on him, and it fits him best right now with the brim folded up like this, which is frankly how it's pictured on everyone in the pictures anyway. So there you go. It is complete. It's done. Hooray! And I used Sunshine Wool Addict Sunshine by Lang Yarns. These were 50-gram donuts made in Italy. I ended up using 1.5 of the donuts. This is a cotton yarn. And then I ended up using about half of my mohair, which was, where's the label? Ella Ray Silky Kid. Super Kid mohair and silk. This was a 25 gram ball, 219 yards. It's 76% Super Kid mohair, 24% silk. It's a beautiful effect. He is a genius at picking out products, and I never even switched to the DPNs to end it. I just kept on going. I magic looped it up and finished. So I did it all on my 16-inch circular needles. Okay, so what else do I have? I got a lot to talk about. It's kind of like, where do you start? Where do you start? I don't know. Okay, let's do this. I have a new kind of main level of the house project, and I finished that project, so I just grabbed something that was on my whip pile in here. If you recall, a while ago, I made something with this Hayfield Spirit yarn, and I had a good chunk of this left over. I think it was a crochet hat. So I wanted to see how it knit up, because this is my first time using the yarn, and I just have been freehanding a cabled beanie hat. I don't know what's going to be. It's probably going to end up being a bit of a beanie style. There you go. It's just a standard cable. I'm doing it's an 8-stitch cable, and I'm just doing front cables. And there you go. I'm really loving the yarn. I'm loving how it's turning out. I really like how with the color shifting, the cables are still very visible and very pretty. So I'm loving this yarn. And then I know we just talked about this on Thursday, but this is a Saturday project now, so we're going to talk about it twice. This is my Wrap Me Up sweater scarf from Knititude. There you go. And I am using Hayfield. This is another Hayfield yarn. This is their bonus glitter. And I got a little bit of progress since you saw it on Thursday, but not tons. about an inch. Very nice. I'll go ahead and move this up just so we know. And then, oops, I'm caught on the tinsel. So I kind of want to set some goals on projects, and I'm going to have them be like cascading goals. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, I'm going to do that. I have been working on this forever, so this is going to become a priority project. I have this much yarn left in this hank, and this skein, and this skein, ball, whatever you want to call it. My goal for next week, I'm going to finish this. This yarn will all be in this project. Goal 1. We're going to get this done sooner rather than later. Okay, let's go ahead and do goal 2 then. So, if you recall, I made my kiddos. I bought the whole line of Hirschner's Neon Lights yarn, and I made my kiddos blankies. That did leave me some leftover yarn that I now have to deal with. So I just found a Creative Grandma blanket that I liked, and I just started making it. So I finished the first remnant ball I had. This is the colorway Vegas. The yarn ends here. I don't care, it's not at the end of the line. I'm just tying on the next color, and I'm gonna keep on going. How big this blanket is gonna end up, I have no idea. I'm just going how the spirit moves me. So there we go, I've done that chunk. So, goal 2. I would like next week to incorporate the next remnant ball into this blanket. I know. Because frankly, I am sick of having that box of yarn in my bedroom, in our bedroom. Brian doesn't care. He doesn't mention it. I mean, he might care, but he doesn't care enough to say anything. So, I just want that box out of the room. So, I want to get rid of that remnant yarn. I just want it gone. So, Diamond said she was looking at buying the Hirschner's yarn, and she wanted to see the blanket I was working on for my son. I don't know, were you talking about this one that I'm currently working on, or are you talking about the one I made previously? I grabbed that one just in case that was what you were talking about. He uses this regularly, so it's a bit beat up right now, and I didn't wash it before showing it. But here it is. This is the Sober Granny, and he did not want the border on it. So the Sober Granny from the Secret Yarnery. I'm showing you the back side. Here you go. The black is just Red Heart Super Saver Black. So is this what you're looking at? This has 6 of the colors. If this is the one you're talking about, here you go. I really liked it. I think this yarn is soft. It was nice to work with. This blanket has been laundered and it holds up just fine. I just haven't laundered it recently. By recently I mean in the past 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I really like the yarn. I think it turned out good. There is to me a textural difference between the variegated and the solid. The solid is a bit softer than the variegated, but the variegated is by no means scratchy or Super Saver rough, you know, old school Super Saver rough. Or yeah, I quite liked it. I thought it was fun to work with. If you were talking about the Granny Square blanket, that has gone MIA. That was Bingo's blanket. I have a feeling she thinks she's in trouble over it, and she's not. She was using it, and I noticed there must have been a flaw where I joined some of the Granny Squares because it was coming undone. And I said, oh honey, I need to fix that for you. And ever since I said that, we've been unable to locate the blanket. So, I don't know if she thinks she's in trouble because she broke the blanket, or I don't know. That's like my best theory, but I tried to make it clear that the blanket just needs fixing, and mommy can fix it just fine. I just need to have it to fix it, and it's something that mommy did. It's not something she did. But if the blanket shows up, I can show it and fix it. We'll see. Okay, so what else do we have? Let's talk about this. This is my, I've been working on a Grow With Me a la Shannon from Another Yarn. I'm using the Premier Fruits sock yarn to make a sweater top situation for my daughter that will stretch and grow with her. So this is, oops, don't fall down please. This is where we're currently at. It's all scrunched up on my needles. We tried it on today, so this would be the collar. We're doing a top down. So there we go, raglan increases, top down. Tried it on today. We are at the point where I should split for the arms. So my plan is I'm going to do, I obviously have to finish the row I'm working on, and then I might do 2 more increases and then separate for the arms. And then I'm about half done with my first 50-gram ball of that yarn. So I'm just going to work the body with my remaining yarn there, and then when I have to tie on a second ball, I'm going to go pick back up the sleeves, do whatever sleeve treatment I want, because then I know how much yarn I have to work with for the rest of the body, and I can decide if I want to make it kind of flared tunic-y or if I'm going straight sweatery and just making like a touch oversized sweater for her now that she can grow into. We'll figure it out. I am going to do a shorter type cap sleeve because as she grows and her arms get bigger, that'll still look cute on her. You know, we can throw a long sleeve shirt under it, or like a button down. It'll look adorable. What else do we have? Okay. I continued to work on Brian's shawl collar sweater from Bag O' Day. I'm continuing on the back panel. I am close. I'm like 7-ish, 8 inches away from where I need to be. So you basically make the back panel until it's 26 inches tall. And then you make 2 side panels. And you have to make the arms. You sew it all together and then you crochet on a shawl collar. I'm using some Red Heart Comfort yarn that I found stashed on my shelves over here. It's a Latte Fleck. I believe this is discontinued. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I got this super cheap at Mary Maxim a couple of years ago. So yeah, right now yarn usage is good, so I don't have any concerns that I'm going to run out. My one caution with that tutorial is, for him, we thought he would need the 2-3X one. And she gives you like a chain count and all of that you should work with. I started with that chain count and it was really, really big on him. So, because I like did a few inches and then we measured it up and I was like, that's a lot of positive ease here. So, I ripped it all out and I took away one repeat, and which was, I think I subtracted 8 stitches from it. And that seemed, it was still a good amount of positive ease, but not as much as it was before. So just with that pattern, make sure you measure and check against your person to see if it's going to work for them. What else do I have? I got 2 more projects to show you. First, I did some more work on my Spectre blanket. This is a sweater from Joji Locatelli. Here we go. I have a new yarn and I'm working on it. So this is my 3rd goal project. I would like to try to add 1 20-gram mini a week to this sweater. So if I get that remainder of that skein into the Wrap Me Up sweater scarf, And then if I get that whole remnant ball added to the blanket, I'm going to push to try to finish this bit of yarn, the rest of that mini hank in there. Oh, I was going to mention something else about that. I think it was Diamond again. I mentioned that I wasn't fading in the yarn. I was just tying on one yarn when the prior one ended. And she said, well, I thought the yarn itself was a fade. Can you explain? That's a very good question. Very good observation. So, yes, the yarn skeins themselves can be a fade, where the yarn dyer will change like one tone. Like here you got the blue and the gray, and in this one they carried forth the blue, the lighter blue, and then they added like a purple, and then in the next one they carried forth the blues, but then they added darker purples, and then in this one they kind of toned down. No, they kept the same purples and then brought in a pink, and now in this next one you can see they're like brightening the pinks. There you go. So that in itself can be a fade. The yarn itself can be a fade. But when people talk about fading in a skein of yarn, often they'll do like, you'll do your color and then you'll do just one row of the new color and then go back around and maybe do a couple more rounds of the old color, and then you'll do 2 rounds of the new color, then do a couple fewer rounds of the old color, and just keep increasing the amount of new color while decreasing the amount of the old color, and it makes a more gradual change to the tone. And that's kind of the way they say if you are using hand-dyed yarns and you know it's going to be a multiple skein project and you're worried about having any shifts from like the dye lot or the dyeing process, sometimes you can tell where the yarns have changed. If you kind of fade in the yarn that way and switch the colors or switch the yarns, it will lessen that effect and you'll have a more gradual color change. So you can see on mine, I've got, when you look close, there's actually somewhere you're like, huh, I wonder where it starts. But it's kind of a sharper divide. Like it's a boom, here's a new color. Boom, there's a new color. If I had faded it in and like, you know, changed rows and done all that, it would have been slightly more gradual. And the instructions for the sweater do tell you to do that process. I ignored it. And so let me know. I hope that answered the question. If it didn't, I'm happy to try to explain again. My final project is I am still working on my Crochet Cube Critters, my amigurumi. This is by Sarah Zimmerman, who is Repeat Crafter Me on the YouTubes. I am currently making Lily the Lamb for little Miss Bingo. And Bingo wants it just as pictured, so white and gray. I am not too far on the head, but it started. There we go. So I got a body and the start of a head. Not much to report there, but any progress is progress. And the amigurumis are, in all honesty, not going to be a high priority thing. I'm going to still try to make progress on them every week so they don't fall into oblivion, but yeah, it's not going to be one of the focus projects. Like I talked about, those other 3, the Wrap Me Up sweater scarf, the blanket, and my Spectre sweater. Those are going to be my 3 focus projects for this coming week. And we'll see how this goes. I don't know. This could be a weird thing that just doesn't work out for me, you know? It's New Year. We're trying new things. So I did read some more in my book. I'm reading book 1 of the Stormlight Archive, The Way of Kings. I am still enjoying it. I still can't tell you what it's about. I'm over 100 pages in, and so far we've got a couple of different POVs, points of view, and I'm not sure how things are coming together. There seems to be a heist afoot, there seems to be a war afoot, and at the beginning there was some godlike beings. I don't know what they were, but There was this whole prologue featuring them, and now they haven't been mentioned since. So I don't know what's happening. Mary Maxim, don't miss our after Christmas clearance event. 50 to 70% off now through 12/30/24. Shop the sale if you're interested. I did go check it out. There were some good deals in my opinion, but it was not something I was going to make the purchase on, if that makes any sense. Okay. I would love to know what you're working on. In the new year here, I'm going to talk about the shifts and new themes for the channel and what you can kind of expect in the new year. Thank you so much to everybody who came to our party last night. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you got a good rest and your tummies don't ache too much from the giggles. Okay, I love you all. I will see you guys later.